Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Book of Witchcraft, where I, a real life witch, opens my book of shadows to the world. Today I will be sharing part 2 in the series about traditional circle casting and ritual work. In the last video, we ended on the circle being cleansed, cast, and the elements, as well as the god and goddess invoked. The link to part 1 in the series can be found in the description. Now we will continue onto the ritual work that takes place within the circle that you have so beautifully casted. As mentioned in part 1, this ritual format can be easily adapted to solitary practitioners, even though it is designed for coven work. In traditional methods of ritual, it is invaluable in a coven because it includes all participants weaving their energies together into a unified whole. As a solitary practitioner, you may not always want to go into a full circle casting and ritual method, but this is a wonderful guide on how many covens traditionally structure their working. You will also notice from the spells that I share here from my Book of Shadows that they include many of the elements used in this ritual format. Why, if I'm a solitary practitioner? Because this ritual structure works beautifully when it comes to doing magic. It provides rhythm, balance, and a sacred framework for manifestation. Once the circle is cast and everyone, including yourself, is within it, take a moment to align with the energy of the space. Take 3 deep breaths, and with each breath, draw in the energy around you. This is a liminal space, an in between space, a threshold between the mundane and the spiritual, perfectly prepared for your working. Now, take a seat and become comfortable. We will start the ritual with a pathworking or a guided meditation. Pathworkings or guided meditations traditionally precede spellcasting. They are included in rituals for very good reasons. They focus the mind, open the heart, and prepare the spirit. Begin by sitting comfortably, breathing at a pace that feels natural to you. Close your eyes and connect with the liminal energy of the circle. I often mention in my videos to imagine yourself in your inner sacred space or inner temple. This is an excellent starting point for any pathworking. Even if you leave this space during meditation, know that you can return instantly. It is always a safe haven. Pathworkings help you connect with your higher self, your true desires, or any spirit guides you may work with. They create a doorway for communication with spirit and divinity in whatever form you recognize them. It is not unusual to feel connected to the other world during a pathworking. If this happens, do not fear. You are protected within your sacred space. Open your heart and mind to receive any messages. These may relate directly to your ritual work, or they may be unexpected. Sometimes Spirit even delivers messages meant for others in your circle, and you may be chosen as the messenger. Pathworkings also places emphasis on the importance of intent. Pathworkings are invaluable because they help you reflect and clarify your desires. Intent is the foundation of any spell. The energy you raise, that will direct your will. Take time to truly understand what you want to manifest. Learn to discern between your authentic desires and the expectations placed upon you by your society, family, or even yourself. Often we think we want something because we've been told we should, but in magic, your true desire is what really matters. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? In pathworking, you can even pose this question and ask for a sign or an answer. The insights you receive may surprise you if you remain open. Pathworkings also help you build up emotion as fuel for magic. Another vital aspect of pathworking is connecting with the emotion that will fuel your spell. Emotion is one of the most potent energies you can harness. You may have heard this in manifestation teachings. Feel the feeling of having it now. During pathworking, there will be a moment when you can immerse yourself in the feeling of already having what you desire. Soak it in and absorb it fully. Why? Because in magic, the energy required to manifest your desire mirrors the emotional energy you would expand if you pursued it through more mundane means. Emotion moves the universe, it shapes reality to your world. Here are some additional practices you can include in your path workings. Visualization tools. Imagine symbols, colors, or archetypes that represent your desire. For example, a green light for healing, gold for abundance, or a flame for transformation. Chanting mantras. Softly repeat words of power or affirmation during meditation to strengthen your focus. Journeying with the spirit, animals, and many others. Many witches use pathworking to connect with animal guides, higher self, and spirit guides who bring wisdom and protection. Eternal connection. Visualize yourself being surrounded by four elements: earth grounding you, air inspiring you, fire empowering you, and water flowing through you. Energetic anchoring. At the end of the pathworking, imagine roots extending from your body into the earth to ground and stabilize the energy you have raised. This completes the first step of ritual work within the circle. By aligning with the sacred space, engaging in pathworking, and clarifying your intent, you're fueling your spell with emotion and preparing yourself for powerful magical working. Once the pathworking is ended, do not simply jump straight into the next step by opening your eyes. Gently return to reality. You've been on a journey. Though your feet have not moved, your soul has traveled the stars. Start by feeling the earth beneath you, listening to the sounds around you, and slowly, gently opening your eyes. This transition is important because it grounds you back into the physical world, ensuring that the wisdom and energy you've gathered during the pathworking can now be applied to your magical work. Now it's time for casting the spell. Once you've clarified and reflected on your intent, you're ready to cast your spell. For the sake of this video, I won't go into much detail here, as I plan to post the spell weekly. This is the moment where you set forth your desire and conjure your magic. As mentioned in part 1, you should have all your spell ingredients prepared before entering the circle. In Coven work, initiates often walk the circle, handing out spell bundles and ingredients to participants. This is part of their service to the community. As a solitary practitioner, you should have your spell ingredients placed during your setup phase. Measure twice and cut once. Make a list and ensure everything you need is within the circle. It is common to forget something, and while there are ways to cut a door in the circle to retrieve items, that is a topic for another time when I'll discuss ritual etiquette. At this stage, the spell is cast. In Coven work, the group may cast the spell together, or each participant may cast one on their own, depending on the occasion and the purpose of the ritual. Now, to feel the spell by raising energy. So once the spell is cast, energy must be raised to empower it. This field carries your intent into manifestation. In Coven work, Energy raising can be a profoundly powerful experience. It is often done through chanting, dancing, drumming, or singing. Hollywood depictions of witches chanting in circles are surprisingly accurate in this regard. For this video, we will focus on chanting, one of the most common and effective methods. There are countless chants available, and you may even create your own. For example, a widely used chant among witches worldwide is, "We are a circle within a circle, with no beginning and never ending." In Coven work, the chant is led by the high priest or high priestess. It begins with a full chant, and as the energy builds, the leader shortens it until only one word remains. The chosen word depends on the ritual's purpose. For a stara, the word may be beginning; for Samhain, it might be ending or end. If the words of stara and Samhain are unfamiliar to you, stay tuned. I will be covering the Wheel of the Year in future videos. Once the energy is raised, the high priest or priestess instructs the coven to ground. All members touch the earth, sending raised energy towards the leader, who stands at the center. Energy is then shaped into what is called the cone of power, a cone-shaped projection of energy sent upward into the sky, carrying the magic into the world. Ever wonder where the image of the witch's pointy hat comes from? It is said to symbolize this cone of power. If you are a solitary practitioner, you might wonder how you will raise energy on your own. As a solitary practitioner, energy raising may be more subtle. I often prefer tapping into my own inner power or channeling energy from the environment around me. Remember how I mentioned earlier that it takes the same amount of emotional energy to cast a spell as it would to achieve the result through mundane means? This is where that principle becomes vital. The emotion you stored during your path working now feels the spell. In my poster spells, I often reference feeling the power move from in you into the items that you use. This is a subtle but effective way of raising energy. However, you may choose to raise energy more traditionally through chanting or drumming. The craft is an act of creation. It invites and even demands creativity. There is no single way, and not everyone is adept at every method. That is how it should be. If you choose chanting, select or create a chant that resonates with your work. As you chant, feel the energy building up inside you. Shorten the chant until only one word remains. Then touch your hands to the earth and visualize the power forming a circle that rises upward into a spiral above you until it forms a point. You have now released the energy of the spell into the world. Here are some additional energy raising practices: drumming or rhythm work. Beating a drum or clapping hands in a rhythm builds energy quickly. Dance and movement. Spiral dances or simple rhythmic steps can raise energy. Breath work. Deep rhythmic breathing can be used to raise energy. Touching or singing. Sustaining a single note for harmonic sound can vibrate energy into the circle. Visualization. Imagine the energy as a swirling light going faster and faster until it bursts upward. This brings us to the end of part 2 of this traditional ritual format. In the next video of the series, we will explore libation, dismissing the quarters, and opening the circle. Always remember, the power lies within you. You are the magic, and you can create the world you want. Merry did we meet, merry do we part, and merry shall we meet again. Thanks for watching.